Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the premiered edition of Nitro from NSW. My name is Dave Easton alongside Tim Price. Welcome to your new Wednesday night home. Wait a minute.
Well, it's great to be here for, the beginning of Nitro, but Shane McMahon's here. What has he got to say? Is he the GM of Nitro?
No, really, he's the GM of High Impact.
Well, this makes for a very interesting situation here. I mean, could he also be the GM of Nitro?
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out what Shane McMahon has to say here. Very, very surprised that he's even here in Atlanta. Let's find out what Shane has to say here. Wait a minute. How did Shane McMahon get the job?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's GM of High Impact. I mean, so he's GM of both shows, or is he being replaced on High Impact?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Shane McMahon is here, and Shane McMahon seems to be ready. And look at this already. He's now saying that tonight we're going to have 3 title matches, and also on Twitter after the show, the fans can pick who will face Connor next week for the Internet title.
This is one way to start off the beginning of Nitro, and what a way to kick it off. Some huge announcements here.
And also the USA Championship match will be Blake defending against a man who signed it the week. What is Shane throwing surprise? Wait a minute, I know that song.
Do I know this music as well? Could it be?
It is! It's Connor Rhodes!
Well, the real American Connor Rhodes is here as a part of Nitro. Well, what a signing Shane McMahon has got here.
Well, I am absolutely shocked. Of course, NSW fans will know all about Connor Rhodes, but to have him here on Nitro and he's going to go up against Blake for the USA Championship.
Well, I mean, that's going to have huge, motivation for Connor Rhodes here tonight. I mean, he's a real American. He will want to represent America by being the USA Champion.
Well, Connor Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen, back in an NSW ring and a chance to become the USA Champion in his first match back. I'm shocked. What a sight. And Shane McMahon, well, if he's going to do this, I think a welcome addition to being the Nitro GM.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. He's a very welcome addition with announcements like this and signings like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent being coming to the ring by the Nitro World Champion Murphy. He is your United States Champion, Blake.
Yeah, there is the United States Champion, and well, what a beautiful championship that is. I mean, Blake and Murphy are still on top of the world. Well,
you've got to be thinking, ladies and gentlemen, that Blake and Murphy have a tough night ahead of them. Blake, who faces Connor Rhodes, and in our main event tonight, Murphy has to defend the Nitro World Championship against Big E. You've got to be thinking Shane is doing a lot of, moulding his own sort of show here.
Yeah, very well seems like that. I mean, Shane McMahon, he wants to, make the big signings and make the big announcements. And well, after, the way SmackDown last night really shook the world, Nitro wants to do the same thing. And well, outdo SmackDown.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the first of 3 championship matches here tonight. You've got to see Shane McMahon has loaded the deck. And, we seen last night in the first match a new champion. Can we see the same thing happen again here tonight as the United States Heavyweight Championship on the line?
Man, what a beautiful championship that is. It will well end, this first opening contest as the USA Champion.
As Connor Rhodes looks determined as ever. as he said to me in an interview earlier, well, I actually interviewed him earlier on this week, not knowing that he had signed for us. He actually says, well, that he had a rough time in the last year, and he's looking to put it behind him. I never knew he was coming here.
Yeah, I had no knowledge of this either. And, you know, I'm normally quite good at finding out information, but no, it's completely news to me.
And the new USA Championship, which is exclusive to the Nitro brand. And that's, of course, your referee for tonight. A new referee, of course. Rooney Wayne, who does our SmackDown shows. This man, all I know is he's called Little.
Okay.
That's it.
He's
Little.
just called Little.
Little. So Little gets us underway here. As off the ropes. Watch out. Connor Wood went for the hip toss. Nice reversal by Blake. Beautiful Blake, he likes to call himself, Tim.
Well, beautiful Blake there. Managing to overpower Connor Rhodes. You don't really see that too often. But, well, this is what has made Blake such a success.
And now Blake, of course, looking to really keep this momentum going for Blake and Murphy. Of course, if you have watched that other company that they were in before the buyout, you'd know that they were on such a roll. But, of course, new times, new company, new brand. And you could see that this could be a much difficult time, especially with Blake not knowing that he was facing Connor Rhodes here tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure this is a huge shocker for Blake. I mean, he had no real time to prepare for Connor Rhodes. Whereas, you know, Connor Rhodes, I'm pretty sure Shane McMahon had made him aware of this match and he had time to prepare.
Also coming up tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see Thomas Starr in action. He's going to be taking on Marcus Cutter. And we're going to have a fatal four-way in the women's department to see who will... Dana Brooke can defend the Nitro Women's Championship a little bit later on. An action-packed night coming ahead here on Nitro. As into the ropes. And lovely, beautiful drop kick by beautiful Blake, you would say there, Tim.
Yeah, very well executed there with that drop kick. And, well, Blake's back in control of this match.
Is it that Connor may have come in here? Oh, I was going to say, looking to get momentum, but a big boot between the eyes, it will give him just that. Where's he now going to go? He's going to go up top here.
We don't normally know Connor Rhodes for this sort of manoeuvres. But what's he got planned?
He's telling Blake to get up. Let's see what happens. Oh, and there's the diving attack, the diving lariat. And Connor Rhodes now in control.
Yeah, he's back in control. And what a manoeuvre there. High risk and high reward.
And now, again, Connor Rhodes in control. Murphy just looking out on the outside. Can do nothing here as his tag team partner's in a lot of trouble. And there's that chop block to the knee.
Yeah, that could have done a lot of damage. And Connor Rhodes could be closing in on becoming the United States champion.
Oh, look out. There it is. The Rhodes bomb. And that could do it. Into the cover. Hook of the leg. Little down for the cover. And we have a new champion.
And well, what a moment for Connor Rhodes. He has become the new United States champion. And, well, what a way to make a big return to NSW. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and new United States champion, Connor Rhodes.
Well, Connor Rhodes is going to be extremely happy with that. He now gets to represent, well, America.
Well, look at this. Connor Rhodes indeed happy with the win here tonight on Nitro. And well, you've got to... Oh, wait a minute! It's that Mexican Gilberto!
Gilberto? What is he doing? Why is he attacking the United States champion?
Well, it looks like Gilberto is making a statement, and there is the title between the eyes. And well, Gilberto making a statement here tonight.
run, but well, he certainly has made a statement. What that's all about, we'll have to find out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to now move on to our next contest here on Nitro. Making his way to the ring, he is an NSW original. He is Curtis Barnett.
Yes, well, the NSW original as well. Back where his career really, took off. And that is Curtis Barnett. Yeah,
Curtis Barnett definitely getting a warm welcome here from the NSW crowd. It seems that a thing that Curtis Barnett really didn't get anywhere else, but since now back in NSW, it seems like the crowd are warming to, as I say, an NSW original here.
I mean, the audience does love their originals here at NSW. Well, Curtis Barnett is certainly one of them. Jared, could this be, Curtis Barnett's time to really, shine back again? He's back home.
Will Curtis Barnett be successful in his match here tonight? We will have to find out. It is not going to be easy though. He's going to go up against another person who is an NSW original. Who would have thought we would have seen this matchup? Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, he is Wwe Watson.
Yes, the intellectual savior that is Wwe Watson. And well, this will be a match Wwe will love where he can use his intellect to try and defeat Curtis Barnett.
And I spoke to Wwe Watson earlier today at the back. He said to me, Tim, he says, I am home, but I am home to make an impact. You've got to be thinking this could be, big words from Wwe Watson.
It could be very big words, but if he can defeat a man like Curtis Barnett, who's, an NSW original, like Wwe Watson, that will go far in the career of Wwe Watson in this big, return of NSW.
You could say this is more like an NSW showcase match that Shane's put on here tonight.
Yeah, you could certainly say that, and that's, what Shane McMahon's going to do. He's going to do everything in his power to put on, a great show.
And of course, after last night's SmackDown, controversial SmackDown, of course, which you can see right now on the NSW network, you've got to be thinking that Shane is going to try and, him and Daniel Bryan are going to have some rivalry in the coming weeks.
Yeah, they certainly will, but, rivalries like that could be, best for business, because each GM is going to, pull out all the stops to put on the best show.
Yeah, and of course, remember, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night is High Impact. The Cruiserweight takes centre stage. Special start time, of course, for High Impact, 10 PM in the UK, and that'll be 5 in the East and 2 in the West. And then on Saturday night, you have Saturday night's main event, a mixed show from all three brands of SmackDown, Nitro and High Impact. Make sure you join us from 11 o'clock in the UK for Saturday night's main event. Off the ropes, and Barnett hits the perfect drop kick. Tim, you've got to be thinking here, Curtis Barnett would be wanting to make sure that everybody knows that he is back and back to win the championship here in NSW.
Yeah, he certainly will. He wants to show that he's back and better than ever, and that he is going to take, Nitro by storm and, as you said, win championships.
Just shots down here, Curtis Barnett. Home in his craft, of course. He's been to Japan many times in the MMA world as well. You've got to be thinking that Curtis Barnett may just have the upper hand on Wwe Watson. But Wwe Watson knows all the tricks in the book, and he can get the job done just as well. But many people say with a bit of a slidier tactics.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, he's an intellectual savior. He's got that intellect that, when he sees an opportunity, he just takes it.
Now just slowing the pace down to his pace, Tim. And that's one thing you don't want to do with Wwe Watson, is really get down to his level. Look at blatant chokehold. And again, this is what Wwe Watson will do. He will try and get it down to exactly what he needs and his pace, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. That ball sort of slower pace, but dissecting the opponent. But here's Wwe Watson going for some high risk.
Oh, he tried to drill the fist right into the forehead, and Curtis Barnett seen it coming a mile away.
Yep, that was high risk, no reward there. That was just a crash and burn, and Curtis Barnett's going to take advantage.
Yeah, Curtis Barnett now will look out. Looking to find. Oh, there's a big forearm. And really giving Wwe Watson a bit of problem here. This could be the chance Curtis Barnett needs. Sends him into the ropes. Into the turnbuckle. Now, oh, look out. Here's that combination. The big knee. Followed by the Bulldog.
What a brutal combination there from CM Punk. So Curtis Barnett. Why do I keep saying CM?
Personalities, who knows? Cover 2 only. And
he doesn't like being called that anymore.
No, he doesn't. No, definitely not. You may find yourself on his wish list to destroy you, as he likes to tell people.
Yeah, I'd rather not be on that, thanks.
No, as a lookout. Running Bulldog this time. And Curtis Barnett putting on a bit of a clinic here. Nice drop of the leg. Wwe Watson, you've got him. What does Wwe Watson need to do here, Tim? He's in a lot of trouble early on in this contest.
He's got to, find that one mistake that Curtis Barnett may make. But if he doesn't make any mistakes, Wwe Watson is in even more trouble. But if he can find a way to get out of this predicament, he's got to use that intellect.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like that's happened with the blood pouring from his forehead now. And Curtis Barnett looking just maybe to end this one. Maybe it's time to go to sleep. GTS connects.
God, that brutal GTS there from Curtis Barnett. And that has to be it. Night-night.
Into the cover. And Curtis Barnett is a winner here tonight on NSW Nitro.
Well, very impressive win for Curtis Barnett here tonight. Well, it is big return to the stage of NSW. Could we be seeing cold soon around the waist of Curtis Barnett?
Ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Barnett picks up the win here tonight. And well, I think he is ready to reclaim the crown of NSW as his. Especially with performances like that, Tim, you can't really judge against him.
No, you certainly can't. That was a very impressive performance there from Curtis Barnett.
Well, what is Curtis Barnett? What the hell?
What the? That's been so far, but who's up with him?
Who in the world? He's huge!
Huge is a bit of an understatement here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Wwe Watson got the last laugh. But what the hell was that all about?
I have absolutely no clue, but well, I guess we'll have to get some answers soon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this happened earlier on today. The Fashion Police attacking one half of the realest guys in Juan Diaz and Giovanni Diaz, sorry, I apologise, to set up this matchup, non-title. You've got to be thinking, Tim, revenge is in the air.
Yeah, it certainly is. There will be, well, just a taste for revenge here tonight, and that's what the realest guys will want.
Looks like they're going to have a chat with us.
Oh, come on! Why does this happen?
My name is Giovanni Diaz, and I am a certified B and a bona fide dud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Juan Diaz, and he's 23 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Bada whom? I am a man in a room. How you doing?
God damn it.
Well, the realest guys here definitely seem to be fan favourites in NSW.
Dave, you got a knife?
No, and you're not allowed near
I was
knives.
going to stab my ears, but never mind.
Well, let's see what they have to do.
I'm going to get cut off again, I know that.
And for our so-called opponents tonight, I've only got a couple of words for you. B-E-C-E. You... I forgot else what to say. Careful. Well, The realest guys definitely keeping it real here tonight.
I used to like these guys. Now they're back to being stupid idiot goofballs. They've just made my list.
Well, let's see if these two men will make a list. Their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, they are the Nitro Tag Team Champions, Tyler Breeze and Ryan Johnson. They are the Fashion Police.
Well, here are the Fashion Police, and I hope now that they're gonna put even more pain into the realest guys, because these two are goofballs. They are the Fashion Police, and they're gonna give tickets to all the Uggos out here tonight. That includes you, Dave.
What? Why am I getting one?
Because you have no fashion sense and you're an Uggo.
Oh, that's not nice.
Well, it's the truth.
Well, let's talk about our tag team champions, the Fashion Police, Tyler Breeze and Ryan Johnson. Non-title action here tonight, and it looks like they've already tried to make a mark on the realest guys. Let's find out what happens here tonight on Nitro. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. A Little gets us underway. Surely he has to have another name apart from Little. And surely, if he's Little, surely he should have been on the... He should have been on the Cruiserweight division, surely. Would have made more sense.
Yeah, you would think. Don't call me Shirley.
Ah, sorry, Shirley. So, here is Tyler Breeze. Look out. Electric chair. Nice. Takedown of Giovanni. Of course, Giovanni, who's already may have taken a bit of battering to his head. It seems like that attack earlier on today.
Yeah, he clearly took some battering because he's got that stupid mic back, and he took even more.
This nice suplex by Tyler Breeze. What do you make of this whole Fashion Police? I know you're not very much into fashion, Tim, but
excuse me, I'm the third most fashionable guy here.
Well, that's true. Of course, the intern, of course, who likes to sit next to us. Very, very fashionable, is it? Look at this blatant chokehold here by Tyler Breeze.
No. 1 and 2 go to Tyler Breeze and Ryan Johnson. And I'm third place.
Yes, I've seen...
I'll never be as fashionable as the Fashion Police, but I come close.
I've seen your jacket. You really do need to jacket off.
This is a lovely jacket.
Tyler Breeze, look, we're here now. We're going up to the top. Bad place to be for Giovanni. Taken halfway across the ring.
Beautiful Hurricane Runner there from Tyler Breeze. Well, he is just dominating this match right now.
Really, guys, Giovanni desperately needs a tag to one here. The Fashion Police have been in control and really isolated Giovanni early in this contest. Went for the super kick and a lovely reversal by Giovanni.
Yeah, tried for that supermodel kick and Giovanni dodged it. Now he's got Tyler Breeze locked into an armbar.
This is a chance. He does need to get a tag here, but Tyler Breeze, I thought it cut him off. Nice. Sort of a half stunner there, you would call it.
Yeah, just planting the face into the knee there, and here comes Big Juan into the match.
23-foot Juan Diaz, apparently. Big boot into the face. And now, look at this, just a handful of hair.
Well, that is the style of Big Juan Diaz, is that just brawler style, hard-hitting offense.
Ryan Johnson yet to get in this contest, and now you would have to think it's Tyler Breeze who desperately needs a tag here.
Very certainly does. Maybe with this big reversal here, he can get that tag into Ryan Johnson.
Anyone! Even someone who thinks that Tim Price is an Uggo can do a Russian leg sweep.
No, they think you're an Uggo. Get it right, stupid idiot.
Look at this now. Again, it doesn't matter who's in the match. Juan Diaz looks to put away Ryan Johnson. Look at the power.
My goodness, just the strength here from Big Juan Diaz.
God, he must be at least 26 foot in the air.
No, because Juan Diaz is not actually 23 foot tall.
Well, that's what Giovanni said.
I don't think Giovanni Diaz is tag teaming with Godzilla here.
Well.
Or a miniature Godzilla.
Look at this. Oh, there's that big boot.
God.
And Little almost fell out of the ring. He was in that much shock.
Rod Johnson is just getting beaten down here with this brutal offense.
Yeah, you would say it looks like Juan Diaz has just got sort of like a mission here to get revenge for what they did to Giovanni early on. Look out. Snapmare takeover. Uh-oh. Boom shakalaka waka maka.
What a stupid name for a move.
But look at this. Tyler Breeze distracts the ref. This time. 2, 3. And we have a win for the Realist guys.
Well, I have to say the Realist guys with an impressive win here tonight. You know, they haven't lost that mean streak where they get in the ring.
Well, are we looking at new #1 contenders? The Realist guys pick up the win here tonight.
Well, I have to say it was impressive. They did get their revenge. Just get rid of the mics.
I think it's a good thing to have. They seem to have a connection here with the NSW Nitro universe. Ladies and gentlemen, remember our first pay-per-view of Season 5 is Over the Limit, and it comes your way on Sunday, April the 30th. It'll be a joint production from all three brands, SmackDown, Nitro and High Impact. Make sure you join us on Sunday, April the 30th, just 11 days in now from our first pay-per-view of Season 5 from NSW.
Make sure you do not miss Over the Limit.
And Tim says he loves the green light.
The what now?
Never mind. Moving on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Atlanta, Georgia has been our first night back. And well, what about this? We're time for some women's championship action. And here come the challengers. Starting first, Asuka.
Well, here is Asuka. Well, a part of Nitro's women's division. And could we be looking at, well, the next Nitro women's champion?
Well, Tim, you've got to say it's a 25% chance for these girls here tonight. One pinfall or submission will win you the Nitro Women's Championship. And Dana Brooke has a lot to really to defend here tonight.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, Dana Brooke as well, a 75% chance of losing the championship. We can't forget about the fact that she doesn't even have to be pinned to lose her championship. Well,
Asuka, who many people say playing mind games even before the match has started. Well, is this the face of the women's division here on Nitro?
It very well could be. This big matchup here tonight, well, that will determine who will be the face of Nitro's women's division.
Oh, look at that smile, that evil smile from Asuka.
I don't think she cares who she gets in the ring with. She just likes to hurt people.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of her opponents, she is Charlotte Omega.
Well, Charlotte Omega with a new look, it seems, from last night when she managed American Alpha.
Well, you go see Charlotte Omega definitely looking to improve her image, many people have said, back to loving the good old country of America. And tonight she is looking to take the Nitro Championship, Women's Championship, here tonight on the first ever Nitro episode.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, I was more sad about, well, the colourful hair she has now.
Hey, it's all about this new look. It definitely seems the fans seem to be behind her here tonight.
Yeah, they certainly do, and well, we'll have to see, can Charlotte Omega well be the one to lead Nitro's women's division?
Well, fans definitely behind Charlotte Omega. But what about this? Talking about girls, a newcomer that I've seen to the roster. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liv Morgan.
Well, what an opportunity for Liv Morgan here tonight. You know, it's her big, debut. It's her first, huge showing. What an opportunity to, well, be the woman to lead Nitro's women's division.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane McMahon has said that, well, he's looking to give many people opportunities here in NSW Nitro, and well, Liv Morgan has the biggest one of the lot here tonight. Could you imagine if she was to come from absolutely nowhere to pick up the Nitro Women's Championship?
I mean, crazier things have happened, but what a way to make your debut. Liv Morgan can do that here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth lady in this contest, she is your current Nitro Women's Champion, Dana Brooke.
Yeah, there is the Nitro Women's Champion, Dana Brooke, who has, well, a hell of a tall task for her here tonight, but, well, if anyone can get it done, I think Dana Brooke is the sort of woman that can get the job done in such a high-stakes matchup.
Now, you may be wondering, ladies and gentlemen, how can people already have titles here in NSW when it's the first show? Well, if you haven't kept up with the latest news, of course, you know that we, our new owner, of course, Mr. Dino Heyman, allowed all the champions to keep their belts from the buyout, of course, from that other company. But, as you say, as we've seen last night, Tim, didn't work out really well for a certain Shinsuke.
No, it certainly did, and we saw on SmackDown that Kevin Owens is the new Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. And well, we saw it earlier tonight, you know, we have a new United States Champion here on Nitro.
And you still have, of course, the Nitro World Championship still to come in your main event tonight. That being when Big E takes on Murphy here in Atlanta, Georgia. So, we're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is for the Nitro Women's Championship. 4 girls, as Tim says. No pin. First pinfall or submission. Champion doesn't even need to be pinned to lose the title.
No, that's what I said, Dana Brooke. You know, she's got to have eyes everywhere if she wants to keep a hold of that championship. Because, yeah, she doesn't have to be pinned, you know. Asuka was to pin Liv Morgan. Asuka would be champion.
Now, where's Dana Brooke going now? Is Dana Brooke looking for weapons already? Oh my goodness me. Looking for a chair already early in this contest, but cut off by Charlotte Omega.
Yeah, I thought that maybe Dana Brooke was, you know, getting out the ring to, you know, let her opponents duke it out, and then she takes advantage. But no, she wanted a weapon.
Charlotte Omega, they're not going to allow that to happen. Dropping Dana Brooke right the way across the entrance. And look at this, when going for the drop kick, but Liv Morgan moving out of the way just in time. Already a fast-paced start to Nitro's Women's Championship match here tonight.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see here in Nitro of the women's division. It's just hard-hitted and fast-paced action, and the women bringing out all the stops to, well, show that they belong.
Look at this, just all 4 just on the outside. As I say, looks like it is just a little bit of a catfight going on early here, and nobody really getting that advantage.
No, not currently. I mean, it's very, you know, back and forth and, you know, very mixed matchup.
And now, look at this, just again, all 4 women on the outside. As Asuka, look at this again, crucifix on the outside, and a bulldog by Dana Brooke. My goodness me, very little padding on the outside there, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be seeing the damage these 4 girls could be doing to each other here, Tim.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage being done, but these women, they are not holding anything back. That's what it means to, you know, be the woman to lead, well, Nitro's women's division.
German suplex by Charlotte Omega on the outside. And now, finally, they've managed to get back inside the ring here. And big shot by Asuka as she continues on with Charlotte Omega. Nice roundhouse kick. Dana Brooke, of course, where she could steal one here. She has we're in an advert break here. Please remember to watch NSW 4 times a week. SmackDown on a Tuesday, Nitro on a Wednesday, High Impact on a Thursday, and Main Event on a Saturday night. If you have missed anything, please go to our YouTube at Nonstop Wrestling UK. Please follow our Twitter at NSW_Fed. And if you're not watching us on Twitch, please do so at the newly named SSS1_1.
Well, back to the action. Yeah, David, well, all 4 women, you know, back in the ring. But just as I say that, Liv Morgan gets thrown to the outside.
Yeah, remember, you can pin or submit anyone in this match to get the title. Little has a lot of... oh, I'm being told here. Little Stewart, I've been told his name is.
Oh, okay. See, I was wondering that, but because of the other company, I didn't think we got him.
No, it's not him.
Well, it's not Little Matt Stewart.
No, it's Little Stewart.
Oh, just Little Stewart.
Yes.
Okay.
We can't get sued.
Forget I said that. I did not say anything.
Charlotte and Omega in a lot of trouble there. And now, Asuka, what is Asuka doing here? Puts Liv Morgan up on top. Charlotte Omega has not moved here.
Yeah, she's in a precarious position here if Liv Morgan was to get superplexed.
Finally coming around, I think she realised what was going to be happening. As look at this, Asuka superplex! Oh my goodness me! Liv Morgan almost snapped in half there.
Yeah, and then what is Asuka doing here? Oh my god!
And look at this, into the pin! Has Asuka got Charlotte Omega? Yes! Yes, she has! And we have a new Nitro Women's Champion!
And wow, what a matchup that was. And yeah, we have a new Nitro Women's Champion, and her name is Asuka.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, the second title change tonight. And well, Asuka is your new Nitro Women's Champion.
Well, what a moment for Asuka here tonight. And who will be, well, the one to be her first challenger? Will Tedbrook get a rematch? But right now, Asuka, the new Nitro Women's Champion.
And well, it seems like we have the race in the women's division hotting up. Asuka now leads that race as the new women's champion. Let's go to our next matchup, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of a grudge match, this one. Making his way to the ring first, he is Thomas Starr.
Yeah, well, you said it perfectly. Real grudge match. But here is Thomas Starr making his way to a ring.
Thomas Starr and Marcus Cutter have had, well, just say they're not the best of friends.
I think that's the understatement of the century. They absolutely despise each other.
Well, Thomas Starr, many people said, please pardon the pun here, could be the star of Nitro.
I'm sure he would love to be the star of Nitro. But well, getting past a man like Marcus Cutter is not going to be any easy task.
And of course, you've got to give Shane credit, of course, because these two have unfinished business and they're going to settle it here tonight on the first episode of Nitro.
Yeah, will this bad blood finally be finished? Will this boiled up feud finally end? Or will matters only get worse? And could we see, someone potentially get injured in this matchup?
And we'll find out. Thomas Starr definitely looking confident here tonight on Nitro, but things are just going to take a little change here, because here comes his opponent from Denmark. He is Marcus Cutter.
The very vicious Marcus Cutter. And well, as I was saying, this match I think could get very brutal very quickly, especially when you've got a man like Marcus Cutter in there.
Yeah, you've got to be thinking this may shape how Nitro is going to be going forward. These two, as I say, well, to say that they don't want to be in the same ring as each other unless they want to tear each other's heads off is a bit of an understatement, Tim.
That is a huge understatement. As I said, these two, absolutely despise each other. They hate each other's guts, and they just want to destroy each other. And one of them wants to put the other on the shelf.
Who is going to get the huge win here tonight on Nitro? Is it going to be the Danish wildman Marcus Cutter or Thomas Starr? We'll find out next. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What a night we've had as Little Stuart gets us underway. As Thomas Starr, look at this already. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice move there early on.
Yeah, very innovative version of, well, the face buster there.
And now, again, just Thomas Starr, early control here. Really, this is where you need to put the Danish Wildman. That's on his feet, because if you don't, that can happen. Unhinged, many people have called him. Tim, what would you sum up the Danish Wildman?
So I think unhinged is a great word for him. Unpredictable, just outright psychotic. And he's a man you need to keep grounded when you're in the ring with him. Oh, he will just brutalize you and take every advantage possible.
And he did see. Funny you said grounded there, of course. Tim, of course, we all know the story in the past week of Marcus Cutter offering his services to United Airlines.
Yeah, that horror story of United Airlines and Marcus Cutter just decided, oh, I just do that in my spare time, why not hire me?
Very, very strange. Of course, we'll see how that reacts over the next few weeks. As Marcus Cutter now just taking control of Thomas Starr.
Well, this is what you're going to see from Marcus Cutter. Just, well, that brawling style, just punches, kicks, and just throwing around the opponent. Lovely
Suplex. Marcus Cutter is one of these people you would say, Tim, that really you just don't know what he's going to do next. He hasn't got really an orthodox style.
No, he certainly hasn't. That's why I said he is very unpredictable.
Ah, Sparkly Witch!
As he hits the Sparkly Witch there. Sometimes I wonder if Marcus Cutter knows what he's going to do. He just does moves that he knows will hurt people.
Look at that, Thomas Starr already feeling the effects of that Sparkly Witch. A little bit shot, that's allowed though by Marcus Cutter into the midsection. Thomas Starr, a lot of trouble here. Look out! Super kick!
Oh, good lord, just kicked right in the jaw.
And it looks like we're having a Danish Wildman super kick party.
Yeah, and a Danish Wildman, just he could be closing in on a very quick and dominant victory.
And this is what you need, of course. You need to get in the mind of Shane McMahon. And look at this, going up top. Is he looking for that Wildman Stomp?
Uh-oh.
Wildman Stomp connects! Oh. Cover! Hook of the leg! And the Danish Wildman picks up the win!
Well, that had to be one of the most dominant victories I've seen, well, in my career. I mean, Marcus Cutter just brutalized Thomas Starr here tonight. And, well, that was just dominance.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, the Danish Wildman, Marcus Cutter. I think Thomas Starr's trying to get a microphone here. I think he wants to have words with Marcus Cutter. Wait a minute!
What the?
Is that Tiny 8?
That looks like Tiny 8. What the hell?
Goodness, well, have we seen the new signee here to Nitro?
Well, it certainly looks like it, and he looks like he's going to make Thomas Starr his first victim.
Oh! The man from Mustache Mountain. Looks like he is making it. Well, look at this, a vicious chair shot to Thomas Starr.
Just trying to shatter the knee, it looks like.
And Tiny 8 is here in Nitro. My goodness me, what else is going to happen here tonight? And, well, talking about what's going to happen here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event. And it is for the Nitro Championship. Making his way to the ring first, he is the challenger, Big E.
Yeah, here is the challenger, Big E, who, well, he's been going on a whole week long saying he will be the world champion on Nitro. Ain't nobody gonna stop him on his quest to become world champion.
And a chance for Big E, yeah, to really make it a bit of a nightmare night for Blake and Murphy. Blake already losing the USA Championship, and now Big E will look to dethrone Murphy in our main event.
Yeah, he certainly will. I mean, yeah, the night did not start good for Blake and Murphy. And it could, well, end terribly as well. Could they be, well, losing all the championships they had?
Well, we will soon find out, as Big E looks ready for this one here tonight. Big E ready for his championship match. But what is the mindset of the champion, ladies and gentlemen? Being accompanied to the ring by Blake, he is your Nitro World Champion, Murphy.
Yeah, well, as you can see, Blake, you know, no longer with that United States Championship, lost it, well, in the beginning of the show. And could Murphy be heading in the same direction and losing his championship? You know, momentum is not in their favour. Well, not in his favour.
You can see here that Blake just doesn't have that sort of usual bounce in his step after Connor Rhodes taking the USA Championship off him earlier here tonight.
You can see the look in both those men's faces is one of, well, despair and fear at the same time, especially in the case of Murphy.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is your first main event of Nitro. And will Blake and Murphy still be smiling come the end of tonight's show?
Yeah, well, I know Blake's, he may be smiling a little bit if Murphy can't retain, but he's still going to be hurting over losing the United States title.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Nitro World Championship to be decided. And Tim, who is your money on?
You know what? I have to go with Big E. You know, I think my momentum is truly on his side, because what happened earlier has got to, you know, dampen the spirits of Murphy. It could really affect him in this big main event.
Yeah, you've got to see it here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We've had two title changes. We've had the tag champs defeated here in non-title action. The odds are stacked against Murphy here. What a first night for Nitro as we get underway. Little Stewart, of course, the referee. And I'll throw this open, Tim. What does Murphy have to do to retain the title here tonight?
Well, he's got to, you know, I think keep Big E down. He can't let Big E, you know, utilise the power that Big E has. And he's got to stay, you know, Murphy has to stay focused at the task at hand, not let what happened earlier, you know, affect him. And, well, do stuff like that, you know, just get in ahead of Big E.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you do stuff like that, you're just going to anger Big E even more, and that's not one thing you want to do.
That certainly isn't, but sometimes, you know, if you anger your competitor too much, they'll go overzealous and could get themselves disqualified.
Very true. Look at this, Big E just snapping the leg back. And, well, as Big E looks focused here tonight, but as I say, you've got to be careful with Blake on the outside. Blake and Murphy desperate to keep hold of at least one championship. There's just a stomp down, of course. What a night, ladies and gentlemen, we've had here on Nitro. Shane McMahon, the new GM of Nitro. We've had two title changes. Connor Rhodes coming back to NSW and taking the title off Blake. The USA Championship. We've had Asuka become the women's champion. And of course now we've got this match where Big E has a chance to become the third new champion here tonight.
He certainly does, but Murphy is, you know, not laying down one bit. He has really taken a fight to Big E. I mean, down for the cover, but no, not even a one. But yeah, things do not look good for champions here tonight. Could Murphy, you know, change that?
And you've got to see the landscape changing of Nitro in just one night. You've got to be thinking, we've seen debuts as well, of course. We're being told, ladies and gentlemen, that Thomas Starr, as anyone, even the Nitro World Champion, can do a Russian leg sweep. We're being told Thomas Starr has been looked back backstage after that vicious attack by Ty Nate. Of course, we've seen Curtis Barnett attacked by Huey Watson and his goons. What else is going to happen here tonight?
Yeah, what else will happen? I mean, it's been an absolutely crazy night. That's what you want to see, you know, on a first showing is, you know, huge impacts being made.
Yeah, of course, remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're only 11 nights away from our first pay-per-view of the season, Over the Limit. And you've got to be thinking that with the titles changing hands, we could be seeing a whole new sort of era opening up. Will Dana Brooke get a rematch? Will Blake get a rematch? What will happen if whoever wins this contest?
Yeah, that is a very good question. I mean, will Over the Limit be filled with, you know, a lot of title rematches, or will, you know, the GM shake things up in a sense of, you know, they want to do things differently and give new people new opportunities?
It's all about that here in NSW. We've seen it here tonight. Shane McMahon definitely moulding Nitro into his own here. Big E in complete control of Murphy in this one. Look at this. Look at the power. Just has Murphy where he wants him.
Oh boy. This just looks very bad.
Oh no. On the top. Superplex incoming.
Jesus.
My goodness. Big E completely in control here. And snap DDT!
Good Lord, just burying Murphy's head into the canvas there. Could Big E be closing in on the victory?
Oh, has him up. Is he going for the deal?
Oh, it's it.
Right in the centre of the ring. Have we got a new champion? Oh, look at this!
Well, there's Blake to stop that from happening. Well, why could Murphy do that for him in his matchup?
My goodness me, Big E was just a half a second away from becoming the Nitro champion. And now, well, it looks like Big E is just even more peed off.
Yeah, it seems like it, but could this be, you know, Murphy's huge opportunity here? Exactly what he needed to, you know, keep his championship. Not a lot of people can like the tactic, but that's what Blake's there for.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he's bringing the chair a bit. It doesn't look like he's actually going to favour Murphy here.
Yeah, Big E again up on top. Look at this. Little Stewart has ejected Blake from ringside.
Well, I think Little Stewart here is doing the right thing. You know, there's only so much Blake can do. It's another superplex.
Off the top. Big E may think he has had him here. Into the cover. Hook of the leg. There's two. And there's three. And we have a new Nitro champion. And the third new champion of tonight.
Well, the landscape of, well, Nitro has truly changed. And it's only just begun.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and new Nitro champion, he is Big E.
Yeah, I think the deal would have closed the deal if it hadn't been for Blake, but that last superplex off the top, well, that was just a curtain call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time for Nitro this week. What a show! 3 new champions. My goodness me, we will be back next Wednesday night. Remember, High Impact tomorrow night for the Cruiserweight. Tim Price, say goodbye to the fans.
Goodbye, fans.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for being a part of Nitro. We will be back next week, but from Tim Price and Dave Easton, we'll see you for High Impact.